Yeah, on this beautiful moon, you know what I'm saying? I've been sitting back just thinking and contemplating, like, you know what? It's time to set my boundaries, man, because it's a lot of good people of God, around these people that, everyday people, and some get smart and get enlightened, and some get deep and get into the spiritual world, but some people just naturally born toxic, naturally born into this world. Like, you the blessing to be around them. So this is my boundary for anybody who's dealing with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know my inner self, right? I know where I came from. I know my bloodline. I know, from my grandma to me. I know how we respect people and how we got manners and, the good shit. So I said this to myself. My kids are just like me. They show a lot of love. They got their natural, respect for people. They talk real proper. And they also spiritual because of my life, how what flows through my body, my blood. Like, I'm like from a Baptist background, got a lot of deaconess and deacons and preachers and spiritual people in my family. Also military people too, but and we got a whole bunch of warriors too. Like, if we don't go to the military, we go to prison for some shit that we ain't having. Like, it always be something like, I ain't gonna say violence, it's just something like defending themselves. Like, my people don't play that shit. So I started seeing that in my previous, like, I can say previous, my past relationships that, you know, you might meet a woman with some kids already, right? And those kids got their own vibes. They vibe is from their fathers, from their father and their mother. They mixed. But you don't have nothing to do with that DNA. You have nothing to do with the vibes, the attitude, the respect, the character of these children. So like I said, I'm the end of all stepdads. I'm not with the stepdad shit at all because I'm not willing to merge my children around people who have their own low self-esteem, or they have some ungodly ways, or they have some, disrespectful ways to God, like sexual acts. They might be transgender, they might be homosexual. Like, I'm not trying to merge my kids with none of that shit. Because, I want them to stay pure-minded like they dad. I didn't have an opportunity to have, to acknowledge with their art and music and all. Like, play this. I did my best at art and music, only to be belittled, So I don't want nobody belittling my kids. I want my kids to merge with other people's kids who got low self-esteem. So it's like, and then I respect their parents. I respect my children's mother. Like, I ain't finna have my children around my new person. They're not finna be around them. They're not finna like some people they get to know you, or they think they know you, and they do fucked up ass vibes. So my kids gonna be away from all that shit. They're not finna be around whoever I'm with, children, basically, because, like I said, my children gonna do what I do, and that person that they was with, children gonna vibe how they do, because the children are what their father is. You know what I'm saying? They came from this man ball sack and all that. So if the father got a fucked up vibe, the kids got a fucked up vibe. My kids spiritual because I'm spiritual when I was holding them in my sack. You know what I'm saying? So I refuse to let my kids be contaminated by this world already, even though their mom's probably contaminated as fuck and their family members on their mother's side is contaminated. But I refuse to let my kids go through that. So I'm not trying to be no one's kind of dad, no kind of dad, stepdad, godfather, none of that shit. It's just like, if I'm with that female, I'm with her. My kids off limits with that female and off limits with her kids, because, like, they made a decision to be with the man they was with, and they made children with it. And all relationships it's not perfect, and people do fall apart, but my kids ain't gonna be part of that toxic world. And that's one of my boundaries. Like, I really strongly feel that way, because I ain't having it. I'm not having it. No, I ain't had no kids disrespecting me because I'm with their mom, and all the insecurities ain't gonna roll for my kids. My kids don't need to be hooked up with no girlfriends or boyfriends of that person I'm with. Children, hell nah. My children gonna be like, when I play this. When I go visit my kids, I visit my kids alone. They ain't got nothing to do with who I'm with. If I got a wife or whatever, she ain't got to worry about my kids. I got them, because I'm not dealing with that person's kids, children. I'm not with that. I'm not finna get to do disrespect. I ain't finna feel uneasy, and I damn sure ain't finna let my kids go through that either. You know what I mean? They my seeds. They came from my loins. So you got, like I said, you got people that get together and they already got kids, and the vibes of that man or woman they was with, it rubs off. It's in the DNA. So my kids ain't gonna be bullied or talked down because somebody get insecure and got fucked up vibe. I'm not having none of that at all. I know who I made children with. The Creator gave me blessings to be with these, make my children. I ain't on that. So anybody who got it in their head thinking that I'm trying to merge, I'm not trying to merge. Because people need to put their kids in place. I'm not going to have nobody try to tell my kids what to do when they ain't got theirs right. You know what I'm saying? So that energy, I'm not with. You know, I'm not with that. People say they take you as for who you are, but you got to take them for who they are. And if they toxic, they toxic. So like I said, I refuse to be a stepdad. Even if I'm with their mom, I ain't trying to be around the kids. That's somebody else's offspring. You know, I'm a farmer. You know, whatever seed I drop, that's what kind of seed I am. That's what kind of tree I am. So I ain't with none of that shit, man. Like, I see it. Like, I refuse to let my kids be contaminated by somebody else's offspring. That's not happening. I'm not with that, you know? I'm from a spiritual family background. I'm a spiritual person. My kids ain't finna be in a mix of some ungodly-ass, toxic-ass people. Because they got low self-esteem or they got this, you know? Like, why would I have my daughter around somebody a girl who think they're a boy? Or why would I have my daughter around, you know, somebody who ain't her brother? Fuck all that step shit. My kids, my world is my children, my talents, my goals, my dreams. If a person with you and they don't understand that, they can take who you are, don't take them for who they are. Because sometimes people want you to take them for who they are and they ain't shit, they damn self. So like I said, I refuse. Nobody ain't finna be in a mix. My kids ain't finna get their feelings hurt because a person might be jealous of their talents or their beauty or their ways. Nah, hell no. Nah. They came from my bloodline. My bloodline is a beautiful bloodline, you know. We creators, we artists, we dancers, we singers, we athletic. So my kids ain't finna go through all that shit because somebody got low self-esteem. And only the real will understand where I'm coming from. So if y'all brothers and sisters out there of God, y'all got a man that got children, you ain't really gotta be no stepmom. If y'all with a woman and she got children, don't mean you gotta be a stepdad. You with that woman, you with that man. You ain't gotta deal with their ass. Because like I said, in life I seen a lot of children. Some of them was teenagers, some of them was damn near adults, and they disrespect their parents. My kids is not finna be around that type of shit. Nobody children is gonna be trying to teach my children how to be disrespectful to me. I'm not on that at all. My kids gonna be loved, my kids gonna be hugs, my kids gonna be creativity. They gonna have a good self-esteem. They ain't finna be around the people who got a low self-ass, low fucked up ass vibe. Nah, it ain't happening. So I'm telling you, if y'all got children, man, and y'all with somebody, your kids ain't necessarily gotta be in that person present. They ain't gotta be around them, you know what I'm saying? Them your babies. You don't want your kids to be contaminated by this fucking world. And sometimes the person you with ain't 100% pure and 100%, you know what I'm saying, healed. So you don't want your babies around that. And if they love you, they'll understand that shit. But like I said, man, I ain't trying to be nobody's stepdad. Nobody for disrespect me. You know what I'm saying? My kids gonna be respectful. That's all I'm really, you know what I'm saying, honestly, to be responsible for. I ain't trying to be responsible for nobody else's kids. Hell nah. Ain't no VIP because you with their mom, or ain't no VIP because you with their dad. Nah, you with their mom, you with their dad, you ain't gotta deal with their bad ass or their disrespectful ass because you raising your kids right. And if, like I said, like an apple don't fall too far from the tree. You know what I'm saying? A fruit don't fall too far from the tree. So you don't want that. When you see them red flags, your kids, nah, pull your kids away from that shit. Straight up, they don't like that, that's them. They choose to be who they was with. They choose to make children with them people. So you ain't gotta go through that at all. You ain't gotta go through that shit at all. You ain't gotta be no stepdad or stepmom. Love yourself, love your children, teach you how to love. But it's like them little disrespectful motherfuckers be going back and forth with their parents. You don't want nothing to do with that. You want your kids around that. You know what I'm saying? I got daughters, I got sons. I don't want my kids to be around somebody who hot in the ass, little hot ass girls. They're trying to get boyfriends and shit. When they get their education together. You know what I'm saying? I don't want none of my daughters around there. If they gonna find a boyfriend, they're gonna find a boyfriend on their own. They ain't finna get no hookups with no, you know, no step siblings and none of that. I ain't with the step sibling shit. I don't trust none of that. None of that. Nobody think they got easy access to my daughters. Nobody think they got easy access to my son. Nobody finna bully shit. Nobody finna give them no bad advice. They're gonna be mean to their parents. They're gonna be mean to their fucking parents. Nobody finna teach my kids how to do nothing like that. So like I said, you see people, they toxic as fuck. They ain't on the right level. Leave their ass the fuck alone, man. Cause if they love you, they gonna love you for what you stand for. And your boundaries is, your kids is off limits. Off fucking limits. My kids ain't gonna get to know people in there and they disrespect their father or their mother. Hell nah. Y'all know what time it is. You know you love, your kids gonna show love too. My kids is too loving to be around motherfuckers disrespectful. So, you know, that's what it is. My kids will not be around. Like I said, like I got this person I'm talking to, you know, and I respect her, care for her. So I can't feel the vibes. I ain't trying to like learn and know more people. I'm not finna be disrespected. My kids ain't finna be disrespected. They're not finna even be in that world. Cause I made children with the women I made children with, I made them with them. So I ain't finna disrespect their mothers, even though I don't get along with them, to have them entertained by somebody else. Because that was my job to do. I made children with that woman, okay. So I have to co-parent, cool. And that's it. I'm not trying to be like I said one more time, I ain't finna be a stepdad to no disrespectful ass people at all. And especially if they like my encounters was disrespectful with them, why the hell would I introduce my babies to disrespectful ass people? Because evidently, I mean, you know yourself. Most people having like mental issues, self-esteem issues, sexual issues. Nah, I ain't know none of that. My kids don't need to be contaminated by nothing. That's why I ask the Most High God, watch my babies every day. Every day. They too smart for what they going through. You know what I'm saying? They too intelligent. They too spiritual. They got sense. I ain't finna let nobody contaminate that shit. If anybody gonna have something to do with that, it's gonna be their parents. It's gonna be their mother and father. It ain't finna be no outsider, you know, who ain't got nothing to do with them being made. So like I said, I got respect for all the step parents out there who really doing that thing, but I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm just like, whoever I'm with them. I ain't trying to be around their kids. I ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying, be a stepdad. I ain't trying to get no advice, because some motherfuckers get slick. They overstep boundaries because you're with their parent. You know what I'm saying? They say shit out their mouth because and you want to call them all kind of shit. You want to let them know how they look and all that, but you don't do that. So you avoid all that. You stay the fuck away from their ass. Stay the fuck away from their ass. You ain't got to be around them. Just be around a parent. You know, if you married their mother, okay, that's who you with. You ain't married them. If you married their father and you ain't married them. Because some people get slick at their mouth. Some people have a low self-esteem and they want to use their parents as like some kind of, like, you know what I mean? Like it's like some kind of protection. They ain't gonna, you know, you don't want nobody talking to you any kind of way because you with their father, or any kind of way because you with their mother. Tell them don't even reach out. Once you get that first sign, fuck that. Fuck that. Because you gotta understand, them children came from somebody else. And whether you believe it or not, the same vibe that the father is, that's how the children is. So my children is just like me. They create, they love, they spiritual. You know what I'm saying? They athletes. I don't want nobody with no low fucked up ass vibe, mental fucking vibe, to just get into their life. That's why I ask God every day. Even when my hands ain't together praying, I got in my mind, watching for my babies, because they beautiful. They got good vibes. They ain't gonna disrespect. Ain't no snicking and grinning when they first meet people. Ain't none of that shit. And if you don't like it, it's the truth. So I tell nothing but the fucking truth. So I ain't finna have my kids around no motherfuckers who toxic. Straight up. Ain't nothing. If they meet you not on my behalf. They're not finna meet you because, they so-called stepmom introduce y'all. Nah, ain't gonna be none of that, because they, not even a stepmom gonna have nothing to do with it. Ain't gonna be no stepmom. Whoever I'm with, they ain't got no access to my kids because they with me. They're my kids. So they got their kids. And like I said, I've been with a couple of females in life that had teenage kids, grown-ass kids. Hell no, I'm not with that. I don't deserve that. I ain't with it. I'm with your mom. I ain't got to hear your slick-ass mouth. I got to get slick-ass comment, your low self-esteem vibes. Fuck all that. I'm spiritual. My kid's spiritual. But I can get better. So to be responsible, hurt nobody's feelings, shit, stay away from the motherfuckers. Stay the fuck away. You ain't got to do that. Just deal with who you married or who you with. You dating her, you dating her. You dating him, you dating him. You ain't got to deal with no fucking kids, because those kids are the evidence of a relationship before. And they got their family ways. They got their generation curse. They got all that. You ain't got hell nah. So like I said, I ain't with the stepdad shit. If I'm with somebody, I'm with somebody. And stepdad shit, they can stay with their dad. They can vibe like their dad. I ain't trying to teach nothing. Because like I said, I'm a spiritual person. I ain't trying to get my feelings hurt. I ain't damn sure ain't gonna hurt my children's feelings. And that's real fucking talk.